Oh.
Okay. Thank you, Monica. Good morning, everybody. Hope you all have a great week. Welcome to the Philadelphia Commission of Human Relations first public session of the new year. Today, January 21st, 2022. Can we start with the approval of the meeting minutes? Any corrections?
So moved.
Any corrections to note? I'm sorry.
Second the motion to approve.
All right. So we got a first and a second. We can move to accept the minutes into the record. Next up are cases recommended for closing, and I will ask for recusals after I read the cases. So the cases recommended for closing for January 2022 are as follows. Under employment, we have Jamila Williams versus McGee Rehabilitation Hospital, Aisha Glover versus City of Philadelphia, Anthony G. Dowd versus City of Philadelphia, Angela B. Scott versus the Arthur Jackson Company and Drexel University, Larissa A. Shields Banks versus City of Philadelphia, William F. Garnett versus Walters Kluwer U.S. Group, Rachel Hannon versus Patient Care Coordination, Kimberly L. White versus City of Philadelphia. Under housing, we have Teresa Johnson versus Philadelphia Housing Authority. And then under ban the box, we have Willie Coates versus Invicta Security. Any recusals? No? Okay. So no recusals have been noted. Can I have a motion to accept? I see Regina's hand up, and did someone second? I'm sorry.
Rebecca.
Rebecca, thank you. My screen is weird. I can't see everybody right now. All in favor? All right, I see everybody's hands up. The cases for the month of January have been accepted. And with that, I will turn it over to the Executive Director's report. And I'm still here. I just have to step away for a second.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. I do have a few updates to share. I just want to start with a couple of points that were raised during our last session. I did follow up with the law department regarding the number of the commission's orders that are currently in the process of appeal. So there is one order that's currently being appealed, and there are 2 requests for enforcement of prior orders by the commission. So those are orders where the respondent has not fulfilled all of the steps identified on the order. So we have 2 of those that are currently being handled by the law department. I know that the last time we met, I said I would get back to everyone regarding a statement for the fire, and I hadn't had an opportunity to do that. So I do apologize for that, and we'll be getting back to everyone today. And with that being said, I have a few updates to share. The first is legislative updates. As you all know, we've been talking about the do not solicit homeowner protection law for the past few months, and we are excited to share that we are, I guess, days away from being fully operational, in that the city's OIT department has submitted information that they will be posting for our website, so that homeowners can go directly to the website and enter their names to be added to the list, so that they are not harassed by wholesale agents and unsolicited offers for purchase of their home. We, within the next few weeks, are expecting to have the hotline for homeowners so that they can call directly and leave messages so that they are not solicited as well. Secondly, as you all know, the prohibition on pre-hire testing for marijuana, that legislation went into effect on January 1st. And we have been responding to requests from employers, or questions rather from employers about our enforcement posture. And we have requested the city's OIT to update our website to include frequently asked questions and other information that may be helpful for the public as well as for employers as it relates to that legislation. Next update relates to compliance. On January 18th, this past Tuesday, the EEOC transitioned to their new charge management program. And I want to extend a special thanks to Deputy Director Pam Gwaltney, who has led our compliance team in working diligently to be up to speed on day one. So, and everything went off without a hitch. All of our users are updated in the system, and we are able to accept and receive credit for the charges that are filed, dual filed with the EEOC. So thank you for that. In terms of prevention and education, the Department of Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disabilities Services is consulting with Deputy Director Randy Duque to develop a conflict resolution training module for the Philadelphia Police Department's crisis intervention team. Our community relations team was trained by DBHIDS regarding their mobile crisis unit and services available to assist communities experiencing violence and other traumatic experiences. The team also helped to prepare a series of end of the year events and community led meetings with the police department and other community-based organizations. In terms of noteworthy conflict responses, as many of you know, on January 3rd, news broke regarding the University of Pennsylvania's law school professor, Amy Wax, making racist and xenophobic comments regarding Asian immigrants. And since that time, there has been public outrage, folks are rightfully unequivocally condemning those comments and calling for action within the University of Pennsylvania system. We drafted a statement just to highlight the fact that her comments, while protected by First Amendment to some extent, contribute to harm marginalized communities, and specifically given her history of making racist and white supremacist comments, we had asked for action from the university to censure her or take some sort of action. Since the news broke, the university has taken steps to begin the process of reviewing her comments, her work, to ensure that her actions and conduct are in line with the university's posture and position and mission. So that is a great thing that they are starting. Our statement, though, will be joined by other city agencies just to continue to apply pressure to the University of Pennsylvania in their process of reviewing her so that her actions are taken seriously. In other updates, Deputy Director Randy Duque and HR Representative Unrat Mott met with the Philadelphia Planning Commission to address ongoing tensions between neighboring registered community organizations regarding the zoning hearing process. And finally, in other updates, we are happy to report that in January, on January 1st, the Philadelphia Mummers Parade went off without a hitch. There were no incidents of bias reported. Deputy Director Randy Duque was on site to monitor the events and did note that it appeared that a lot of the brigades were more racially diverse compared to past years. On January 5th, there was a devastating fire that claimed the lives of 12 people, including 8 children. And Deputy Director Randy Duque was on site for that fire to provide assistance with coordinating resources for the families that were impacted. And then finally, on January 8th, I met with Nicole Kligerman of the National Domestic Workers Alliance to discuss protections for domestic workers that are already afforded through the Fair Practices Ordinance, through, I guess, several new bills that sort of changed the scope of services to include protections for domestic workers. In the 60s, domestic workers were specifically excluded from the Fair Practices Ordinance, and then more recently included. So we will be meeting with the Domestic Workers Alliance over the next few months just to host informational sessions with them to ensure their stakeholders that we are a trusted partner and ally for domestic workers. And so they have asked that we allow our staff, our investigators specifically, to hear their stories so that investigators are aware of the nuanced experiences of discrimination and harassment that are particular to domestic workers. For the month of December, we had 7 confirmed incidents of hate reported to our agency, and through the year of 2021, there were 61 confirmed incidents of hate or bias. And with that, that will conclude my report. Yeah.
Could you provide an update on the issue with the issue that happened on the subway with the students, and for the public record, show how the PCHR is continuing to be involved in that, and how we're working to try to reduce incidents of this like this in the future?
Yes, I forgot that update. So thanks for the reminder. Yes, PCHR is meeting with the Office of Public Engagement as well as the Office of Immigrant Affairs to continually review, to strategize rather about action steps that have been proposed by our agency so that we have a multi-agency approach, which will include a public campaign, several community meetings, and more intensive interaction in the schools and communities impacted. We will be meeting on February 3rd to with the stakeholder group to actually set out a timeline. And once we have that timeline set, I'll be able to come back to the commissioners and sort of explain where we are and hopefully get more involvement. So then,
thank you.
We are. You're welcome.
I see Sarah has a question.
Yeah, Kia, I'm wondering if at our next meeting, if we could get a little bit more explanation about the pending appeal and also the law department's enforcement. I think you mentioned that there were 2 different cases where I guess the defendants who got some sort of judgment against them have not yet complied. And if we can get some more details about which cases and what it is that they are resisting, and also what the law department is doing to enforce the order, just at the next meeting, if we could do that. Also, maybe others have seen the statement, but I would be curious to see the statement that the commission is signing on to. Obviously, you've coordinated that with a lot of other city government agencies, but if we could see the statement about Professor Wax.
Certainly. I will send that out after the meeting, actually, today. All right.
One more other comment. Kia, I think it might be a good idea for us to compare the number of hate crime incidents with the past, just to show how it's going up or going down, and for us to put it in context about how vitally important the work of the PCHR is.
Okay. Yes, I will definitely put together some data for the commission, and we can even share that publicly in our minutes.
Any other questions or comments? Going once, going twice. All right, so no other questions or comments noted. The executive session for February will take place on February 11, 2022, and the executive session will be held on February 18th, 2022. Readers for the month of January are Commissioners Austin, Alpert, and Loren. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
That's February.
February 11th and 18th.
No, I mean the readers for February.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
Right.
Readers for the month of February. Thank you, Commissioner Austin. The readers for the month of February are Commissioners Austin, Alpert, and Loren. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I see it moved and seconded by Commissioner Alpert, Austin, and Zulfikar. So that means everybody is ready to go. All in favor? Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for the great work to Kia and her team. Have a great one.
All right.
Thank you, Miranda, for your tips.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll send you an email.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
All right. Have a good weekend.